If you're a foreign trained dentist who got an invite from University of North Carolina, UNC, and you're preparing for the advanced standing DDS program interview, clinical part, and the bench exam, well, this is the right video for you. If you don't know who I am, my name is Adriel William. I'm a foreign trained dentist just like you who came from Pakistan, and I've been working as a CAAPID coach since 2020 when I applied to about 12 school and got accepted to 4 of them. And since then, I've been making these videos and helping multiple students every year to get accepted to their dream school. Now, coming to UNC, over the past couple of years, I've been pretty much as far as I can remember since the past 3 years. Every year, I prepare some students who get accepted to UNC, and I was reach out to few people who asked me how should they be preparing. So there are a couple of things I'm going to tell you about UNC interview in the past, and this can slightly change over time because when their program director changes, it just changes the system and the kind of questions they ask. But I'm going to share with you from the previous year. So there are 3 parts. One is your interview, where there's a group of faculty which will ask you personality related questions, which start from something like tell me about yourself, your strength, your weakness, why do you want to come to UNC, why should we pick you as a candidate. And they ask you questions like tell us about leadership role, your long-term plan, about your resume, like your experience, clinical experience back home. They will ask you about teamwork. They want to know what kind of a person you are and if you can sync along with them in the school. The other thing you want to know is the school is based over. You should know a little bit of ethical scenarios as well. There's a playlist on my YouTube channel. You can watch ethical scenarios as well. Along with that, it's a school which is in the south. So understand the fact that schools in New York or California are on the coast. North Carolina comes in the southern part of America. Like Texas is south, Alabama is south, so is North Carolina. So there's a little bit difference of culture as well. So you want to research more on the school, on their history, and if you could talk to more students, that would help you too. So when they ask you questions like why do you want to come to North Carolina, you would, or UNC, you would be able to give them a better answer. Along with that, the next part they will ask you is a question on clinical questions, about 10 to 15 questions in the last year they had. And before I tell you more about it, kindly do hit the subscribe button, like the video, and subscribe this channel because I'm going to be making more videos in this week which will help you for the interview prep, and I'll go through that later on. But coming back to clinical questions. So in the past year, I've asked students who gave it, they said, well, the clinical questions were 10 to 15. There were questions which were similar to INBDE questions where they will ask you RPT design. This is universal classifications like RPT design classification. This is universally asked in most of the dentist school interview. Back when I was giving UCLA interview, back Colorado had a virtual exam. All of them like to either they will show you an RPD and ask you what is a classification, or they will show you a cast and ask them. Along with that, they showed pictures of where there was some kind of oral lesion, about 4 or 5 photos of oral lesions from oral medicine, and they ask you what do you think the potential lesion is, what will you do as a treatment to that. Along with that, they also showed some discolored tooth and ask you what kind of condition like fluorosis and different kind of conditions they can ask you. There could be a questions of few x-rays where they can ask you like a periapical cyst to tell, or they can ask you this is an extraction of tooth number 3, what kind of potential complications you have. And what I've done over the past, that I have a recorded 3-hour session which I did for clinical preparation. I originally recorded that video for University of Alabama, but I recorded a lot of similar questions that are asked throughout different schools. So if you're interested to buy that, you can. I have a preparatory material for clinical questions as well. Now, coming to the third part, which is your bench exam. Now, when it comes to your bench exam, the students told me it's very similar to an ADEX exam. I gave an ADEX exam to get my license in which they can ask you to do a class 2 on a mandibular teeth. The student mentioned there was a class 2 that you have to make for amalgam. They can ask you a class 4 restoration. There was a bridge prep from a molar to premolar, just like in ADEX. There's a gap, like there's a missing teeth, and in the ADEX, I remember they told us to do a bridge prep from tooth number 2 to 4, or like there will be one molar, one teeth missing, and they will ask you to do a bridge prep on a typodont. Along with that, they will make you do restoration. You have to do that as well. So these are the three different kind of things. Now, personally, I don't prepare for bench exam. If people ask me, where should I go for bench exam preparation, I tell them Dr. Stevenson Dental Solution. You can look up on YouTube. He has amazing videos. I think he's one of the best when it comes to, he's kind of like a student of students of GV Black. So I can't say enough, but he's one of the best people to prepare for bench exam courses. And I personally have a referral code for him. If you're interested to get discount on getting a course from him, you can reach out to me, and I can help you out with that. The other thing is, if you want a one-on-one preparation for the interview part, you can reach out to me. I have some recorded session too, which you can buy and just prepare for them. These are not on YouTube. That's something more personalized. And along with that, if you want to prepare for the clinical prep part, you can buy a 3-hour recorded video just that prepares you for clinical preparation, for treatment planning, for RPD kind of questions. I go through different pictures of oral legends, how to describe them to your faculty, because by the end of the day, they sometimes, if they are sitting right in front of you, they don't want the answer right away. They want to see your approach towards a clinical diagnosis, and that's a very important thing. You're not going to be hired to become a teacher up there. You're being hired to become a student. So the approach is a little bit different if you're explaining it to a person. And earlier I mentioned that do subscribe to the channel, because I've seen recently there's a question coming up again and again. How many schools have you applied to? A lot of dental schools these days are asking students during the interview, how many dental schools have you applied to? And that's a tricky question, because you're worried if I tell them I applied to 20 schools, they might say, okay, you are like, what's going on? So people find it difficult to answer, and I'm making a separate video for this, and I will be uploading that in the next couple of days. So if you want to stay updated, do follow me on Instagram, subscribe to the channel, and hopefully I'll keep you updated if there's more discounts going on or anything that I can help you with the preparation part as well. All the best.